It's not a nation going to war, but responding to a war imposed on them. The Bengali nation fought a battle, fought a war, but not to win the land and territory of others, but to liberate their own. Our war was not an imperialistic war. Our war was a liberation war. I pay tribute to all the people of Bangladesh, then 75 million strong, and today 150 million plus. It is their resilience, it is their faith in their destiny, it is their enterprise and creativity that has today elevated Bangladesh to a recognition as an active, contributing, and responsible nation in the global community. We have seen, even during the global recession over the last several years, how it is this resilience, this enterprise, that has kept Bangladesh growing at a rate of 6% plus. I pay tribute to the women of Bangladesh, whose seminal contribution in our public life, in our economy, has been central. I must not forget our delightful children, our citizens of tomorrow, for whom all our efforts are, and for whom we are honored now to leave a promising, prosperous Bangladesh. I wish to record our gratitude to our foreign friends, Britain, of course, the British people, the British government, and the Bangladeshis, the Bengalis in Britain, who formed a hub to draw up global support for the Bangladesh cause. And it is no wonder, therefore, that British Bangladeshis across Britain take it to heart and celebrate this day, the 26th of March 1971, our Independence and National Day, as a special occasion on the social calendar. With Britain, and I always say this, that I am privileged that I represent democracy to another. And I think it is this consonance and convergence of values of democracy, rule of law, rights that binds us together. Of course, there are dissonances. I think that in an immature partnership, you have space for dissonance, which means that the partners can constantly work to further their convergence. Our membership of the Commonwealth is a reflection and a celebration of this partnership. I will not bore you with the statistics about the trade and all that, but I must say that when on 8th of January 1972, Bangabandhu was on his way back to Dhaka, he chose as his first destination out of the prisons of Pakistan, London. And here he arrived, the president of a sovereign independent nation, which was then not yet formally recognized by Britain. But here he was, received at 10 Downing Street by Mr. Heath. And not only that, after the meeting, as he left Downing Street, it was Mr. Heath and not a valet who opened the door for the car for the founding father of Bangladesh. And I say this to reflect how important British support has been, and the expression, formal expression of that support. And we say thank you. We say thank you to Britain and all those who made it possible. The 26th of March 1971 is important for us, for it is our Independence Day. But I must also say that there is a greater value in this, in the context of what we call the discipline of political science. If you'll recall, the process of decolonization presented the world with a whole lot of several nation-states. All of these states, nation-states, the post-colonial states, were a product of the process of decolonization. Bangladesh represents a textbook case where it is the first post-colonial state, a state that emerged out of a post-colonial state. And in that, Bangladesh will of course be remembered as a liberator different from the others, because he's the liberator who gave the world the first post-colonial state. On this day, I can assure you, my friends from the Bangladesh diaspora, and our friends who may not necessarily be from the Bangladesh diaspora, but who are here to celebrate with us, that in the High Commission, we will always be available to see that we have a greater outreach. Outreach in terms of taking this message across of what it takes, what the pulse of the Bengali nation is, what our aspirations are, what our values are, how creativity promotes that. But at the same time, I think it's important to see where the nexus is between the values and aspirations and cultural ethos of mother country and that of Britain, because there is an interesting interculturation that adds value to the multicultural society of modern Britain. And I'm certain that the Bangladesh diaspora brings that value to multicultural Britain as much as Britain offers to this community value addition in how they take advantage of the opportunities and the space that they have here in Britain. I will not dwell on the 12,000 curry houses that have redefined British culinary tastes. I will not dwell on the tremendous input in terms of the economy that brings to the British society. I will only celebrate with you, with my Bangladeshi brothers and sisters, with my British companions, this moment that you celebrate, the moment of birth of free, independent, sovereign Bangladesh. A nation that was born to celebrate justice, liberty, and equality, where we constantly strive to uphold democracy, rule of law, and justice. We heard from the freedom fighter on the 16th of December, where it all ended in victory, our collective rejoicing. We must also recall that there were as many as 3 million people who were killed in that genocide. As many as 250,000 women were raped. And countrywide atrocities. Therefore, as we celebrate collectively our victory on 16th of December, we all had a private grief, a personal tragedy that needed to be lessened. It did when Bangladesh returned on the 10th of January, and we all wept with him. But there's a need for a catharsis, and that catharsis can only come by ensuring justice. For those who crave justice, for the injustices done on 3 million people of Bangladesh. And that process is on with the ongoing trials for crimes against humanity committed during 1971. And I feel proud that Bangladesh as a state is very particular that there should not be any space for impunity, that justice be done for the injustices that were inflicted. But we do not want retribution. We have chosen not retribution, but a process under law, through a judicial process, in the course of law, to deliver justice to those who seek justice. And I think that is a reaffirmation of those values for which Bangladesh was created. As I stand before you, I can only reiterate this celebration for the values that bind us, Britain and Bangladesh, in the birth of Bangladesh. I thank you very much for having me with you in this celebration.
Thank you very much, Excellency. Can I ask you to remain on stage? fast for me. Can I also ask for the next part of our programme for Mr. Ben Dunham to come back on stage and Mr. Bosharali. The Ipswich Bangladeshi Cultural Group would now like to present a special award to someone who has played an active role in supporting the newly arrived Bangladeshi families in Ipswich in those early days when there was very little support for the women and children who came to join their men already settled here in the UK. Mrs. Nuraf Sahok came to the UK in 1974 to join her husband, who was a doctor in Ipswich Hospital. She helped set up the multicultural education unit here for the provision for speakers of other languages, otherwise known as ESOL, and organised an Asian literacy scheme for Bangladeshi women at Suffolk College. She supported children with English as a second language in many of our primary schools, and she introduced Bengali as a second language at GCSE level at 4 of our high schools, as well as at A level at the local college. These are just a few of the examples of her work here in Ipswich until she retired from community work in 2003. Please can I ask Mrs. Hock to come onto the stage. Mrs. Hock's not been very well recently and she really didn't make it here today, so we are very, very grateful that she could join us. And to show our appreciation, we have just a small token to give to her.
Bob Hope went to Washington, D.C. He was invited to the White House, but he wrote a little note of regret to the President of the United States, saying that it coincided with the birthday of his teacher. And he says, a man comes to live under 15 or 16 presidents in his lifetime, but a good teacher comes in his life like here. I celebrate with you this great teacher.
Thank you very much, all of you. I am really moved and honored. I am so moved that I cannot say anything. I am really very much moved today. Thank you very much, all of you. I want to see my students. Can you get up? All my students, get up, please. They are all dads and moms. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Des. Thank you. It is important for our children who are born here in the UK to understand and appreciate their heritage and what their parents and grandparents went through to ensure freedom for the people of Bangladesh. One of the ways of doing this is to hold events such as today. Around 90 children also took part in an art competition with Bangladesh as its theme. The competition took place 2 weeks ago at St. Helen's Primary School, supervised by our volunteers to ensure fairness. The work was then judged by 3 independent judges. I'd like to call our first judge onto the stage, who is Dr. Al Masood, who is a general practitioner at the Burgess Medical Centre in Kesgrave. Our next judge is Dr. Buya, who is a GP at the Leiston Surgery. Our final judge is Sam Bethina, who, with a degree in education and social psychology, worked as a teacher in London and in Africa. He also worked at Barclays Bank and is a qualified cricket and tennis coach. Can I ask each of you just to say very briefly about the judging process?
Yes, certainly. First of all, I'd like to thank all the children for taking part. We had over 70 entries, and I hope everyone's looked at the quality of their work. So can we give the children a big round of applause for taking part? It was also very difficult to judge with the three of us coming from three different backgrounds. So I'd like to thank my fellow judges as well, Dr. Masood and Dr. Bhuyan. We decided to allocate points on originality, eye for detail, how the children interpreted the cultural theme as well. Can I remind you, last year some children complained that I marked